Thank you for coming to yet another annual general meeting. A warm welcome to everyone. And where better place to start than here in this very room 1 year ago. We're grateful to David for inviting us to use this venue for the 5th time. And we must also thank John for the homemade ginger cake. Let's have a closer look to see how happy you were last year. This is what every presenter likes to see. And here's what every presenter doesn't like to see. So hopefully I can bring back the smiles by showing you some pictures of the fun times we've had. And let's start by reminding ourselves of who we are. Cyclists, yes, but it's not just about the bike. We are recreational cyclists, practitioners of the 3 C's, coffee, cakes and chat. And when you talk to your non-cycling friends about our club, I doubt they would picture Clapper Bridges, nor fields, and certainly not Fords. And the roads they might think of are nothing like the tiny country lanes that most cars would avoid if they could. As for socialising, it's more than just cafes and pubs. Picnics too. And even better when the food is provided for us so that all we have to do is turn up. Our thanks to Claire and John, who provided the food, while we did our bit by raising £200 for Bikes to Africa. Other venues for the 3 C's include a members' garden, and not content with just the garden, a members' sitting room too. This was the 14th of October 2018. Memorable because it was too wet and windy to ride bikes, but that didn't stop us from driving to John's for the coffee, cakes and chat. On another occasion, here we are, after being treated to a lovely lunch in the members' dining room. Our thanks to Julienne. As for our routes, we are fortunate in Oxford to have 3 areas of outstanding national beauty within range. Cotswolds to the west, Chilterns to the east, and to the south, the North Wessex Downs. The north too has its moments, and we did all this, for the most part, safely. Although our riding is usually disciplined, we have been known to do crazy things. Doesn't get much crazier than this, much to the delight of passers-by in the centre of Oxford last December the 26th. I'm told that there were tourists queuing up to take pictures of what they imagined to be an ancient Oxford tradition. And talking of traditions, no chairman's report would be complete without a few facts and Excel charts. So here goes. Now, I've removed the axes to keep you guessing. The rain gives it away. Yes, it's attendance over the last 21 rides. As you can see, attendances have been good this year, often into the 20s. And depending on the coffee venue, we often now warn the cafe in advance. Publicity is one of the committee's most important jobs, and for this, we have our website and our weekly email. This is last week's email. These started back in March 2013, and last week's was issue number 365. Like many clubs and businesses, we send our emails via MailChimp. Here's a report showing the proportion of recipients who actually opened the email in the last 16 weeks. On average, about half. MailChimp refers to those on our email list as our audience. Let's look specifically at those who open our weekly emails. Well, 10% of openers are people we vaguely know, maybe rode with us a few times a couple of years ago. 22% are our regulars, but we have no idea who the 68% are. Maybe they like to see what's going on, but Sunday just isn't a good day for them. Moving on now to our website. Looking back for a moment at our website history, it was demoed at our AGM in 2011 and went live halfway through 2012. Attendance back then wasn't brilliant. I remember our first mince pie ride in 2012, just 3 attended. So just how much engagement do we get via our website now, 8 years on? It's not just rides, but blogs too. A couple of our blogs, the Eddington number and sensible gears for recreational cyclists, have recently appeared high up in a Google search list. And anyone who Googles cycle clubs in Oxford will find us pretty quickly. Some of you may have come across a tool called Google Analytics. It's used to look behind the scenes at websites. This particular report is called Page Views by Week. You can see here the recent 3 months, August to October, averaging about 600 page views per week. That's 30,000 over the year and far more than I expected. The low number of 332 was the August bank holiday. So in terms of publicity, as you would expect, the website has a much larger audience than the weekly email. And here's another report from Google Analytics. It's called 28-day active users. And that means that in any 28-day period, how many individuals, different individuals, visit our website. On average, almost 400. That's 400 different individuals. Compare that now with how many open our weekly email. And each week it tends to be the same 130. So who are these other people who regularly visit our website? And importantly, might some of them ride with us if we offered different rides in addition to our Sunday rides? And just a few minutes ago, in his Ride Secretary report, James said, "We have been trying to put more short rides on for a long time." Yes, it has been a long time. At our annual general meeting in 2011, we proposed, where possible, there will be a lead-back ride from Coffee to encourage less experienced riders. And in 2012, for some time, we have been concerned that our rides are too long for some cyclists, either because of the distance involved or simply because some people are too busy to go on all-day rides. All of which reminds me of our 2016 survey. Question 7 asks simply, what other rides would you like to see us offer? You'll see that almost 70% of respondents were interested in summer evening rides. And in question 6 in the survey, we asked, what kind of rides do you like? So 45% liked shorter or half-day rides. Only 18% liked full-day rides. We must assume that those who ticked "it depends" probably prefer to have the option, which they, of course, they would have if our half-day option was a lead ride. This must give us pause for thought and perhaps should direct our efforts next year. Well, enough of facts and figures. What about some of the year's highlights? This isn't architecture we're likely to see in the UK. And this seaside has a rather continental look. This, of course, was our Easter weekend in northern France. The architecture and roads may be different, but one thing is guaranteed to stay the same. And notice, please, the healthy gender split. We also kept up our away day rides last year. This is one of our favourites. The first away day ride was in August 2015, the Chiltern Special. Then a year later, Jackie led a ride to Leckhampstead. And since then, we've only missed 7 months. That's a total of 32 away day rides, if my sums are correct, and several members would like to see more. Like all the best adventures, part of the fun is recalling the best moments afterwards. So taking our members to new and exciting places is a club ambition. In a weekly email last January, we published this route of John's ride in France and Spain, leading to someone writing in to suggest that John should give a talk, as if he wasn't busy enough already. And someone else responded, "Hello, Oxford City. Very much attracted to that map, cycling down parts of Europe. Is there a group planning a trip?" I continue to be inspired by this group. And just last week, we received this encouraging feedback. "Thank you for all your efforts in making Oxford CTC so dynamic. All very much appreciated. Best wishes for the new year. See you all on a bike sometime in 2020. Responses like these are what makes it all worthwhile. And the food, of course. which, like our routes, is always planned with meticulous attention to detail. And finally, let's not forget the chat, which brings it all together. Which is a good place to finish, so thank you for your attention and for smiling most of the time.